So welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll be going through a recipe from ChatGPT. So essentially, I just went online. I went on ChatGPT. I was like, give me a keto recipe, because if you know this channel, if you know me, I try to avoid unhealthy things as much as possible. I've absolutely cut out processed sugars. So I wanted something like a healthier take to making my birthday cake, and I'm making birthday cakes for a couple of people, a couple of friends coming over. So I just wanted a healthy alternative. So ChatGPT has been my resource to finding like nice recipes. So usually I just go online and I just type out give me a keto birthday cake recipe. These are the ingredients I have at home. Give me something that I can work with, and it gives me things to work with. And yeah, so this video, we'll jump straight to the video and then start talking about the recipe. See you.
Yeah, so 3/4 cup of this almond flour. I'm not doing any promotion on like the best almond flour to use because I use different types, but this is the one I'll be using today because I've used it before. So 3/4 cup of this one. Okay, then also 3/4 cup of this. So I'll be using 3/4 cup of the unbleached flour. Then it says 3 to 3rd cup of monk fruit. So I don't use sugar, so I'll be using monk fruit. And it asked me to powder it. So I don't know if you can see it closely. So it's currently granulated. So I'm going to put it in a blender and try to get it as smooth as possible. So I have it all ground up. Ow! It's hard to open. Okay. Oh, okay, this looks, uh-oh. So this is how it's looking like. So I'll just dump the whole thing in there. Okay. We need baking powder, baking soda. Okay, so we'll need 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. We need a quarter teaspoon of baking soda. So I'll just use like half of this one. Okay. And also some salt. So I'll list the ingredients and the measurements in the description. Yeah. So I'll just whisk them together this way. So that's it for the dry ingredients. For the wet ingredients, it's called for 2 large eggs. So before I start on the eggs, I have some flour here. I'm supposed to melt the butter, so I'll just put that there and melt it up a bit. So 2 eggs. We'll need half a cup of buttermilk. So I have buttermilk here. We'll need 1/3 cup of the melted butter, but it's currently hot, so I'll put it in the fridge a bit for it to cool down. Okay, then we need a tablespoon of vanilla extract. So 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract and 1 teaspoon of white vinegar. So what we have left is the melted butter. So 1/3 cup, measure out 1/3 of a cup. Okay, so those are the wet ingredients. So we have our dry ingredients mixed up, we have our wet ingredients mixed up. So I'll just go ahead and whisk it. So I'll be putting the dry ingredients into the wet and mixing as I go. Yeah, so we have this kind of thick consistency, something like this. So I'll be putting it into the already greased baking pan. So I'm just spreading it out so I can get like an even layer. So it's not too thick, it's very easy to spread. So I'm just like shaking it around and okay, so this is what we have. Let me come a bit closer. This is what we have. And I'll be putting it in the oven for, the recipe says like 28 to 32 minutes. So yeah, let's put it in the oven, and off camera, I'll quickly mix up the ingredients for the chocolate layer. So I'll just set that aside. I'll start with the chocolate layer. So this is the cocoa powder I'm using. Okay, so I'm finally done with measuring out the ingredients. So I'm going to whisk the wet ingredients. So it's similar ingredients. I'm going to put everything in the description, but similar ingredients with the vanilla one. I just replaced. So for the wet ingredients, I just added like a bit more buttermilk. For the dry ingredients, I replaced some flour with the cocoa powder. So I'm going to put all those in the description. Baking is a very messy process, super messy. So my outfit is all covered in powder. So again, putting the dry ingredients into the wet and mixing as I go. Okay, so this is how it's looking like. It looks a bit runnier than the vanilla one. Probably that's because we had to replace some powder with the chocolate, with cocoa powder. So similarly, I'll be dumping it into my cake pan. Okay. So I think that's to get rid of the air, in case there's any air bubbles in there. Okay, so we have the vanilla and then we have the chocolate. So I'm now going to be putting them inside the oven for about almost 30 minutes. Okay, so the idea is to have 3 layers, one vanilla layer, and 2 vanilla layers and 1 chocolate layer. I was thinking of making like a 4 layers, but I guess it's going to be a bit tall, but we'll see if these come out well. If they come out not too thick, then we might have to increase the number of cake layers. But if it's thin, then we have to, if it's thick, we can leave it as 3 layers. If it's too thin, then we have to increase it to like 4 or 5 layers. So it's in the oven, it's going to be there for about 30 minutes, and I will let you know how it comes out. So I'm going to just clean everything up, and we'll see where at the finish line. Would you look at that? So right here I have the vanilla cake and I have the chocolate cake. So they just both fell out of the
of the pan. It's very easy. And in the oven, I have so I decided to, initially I was going to make two vanilla layers and two chocolate layers and then stack them. But then my orange flavor was just calling my name, so I decided to go with two orange layers, one vanilla and one chocolate. So the orange is in the oven, and yeah, see you when I start stacking. Okay, so if you can see my face, welcome back. So off camera I did the crumb coat. So this is the crumb coat that I have done, and the last step is to decorate. So I have here this beautiful pink frosting. So I mentioned that the actual cake does not contain any sugar, but the frosting actually is, I'm just using like packaged frosting, so it does have sugar, just to be transparent. So I'm not using any keto recipe for the frosting. That's because I don't eat the frosting, and I don't know anyone that eats frosting, quite frankly. So usually, I think the first time I tried to make like a full keto cake, I spent a lot of money. I made the full cake keto, then I made the frosting keto, and no, it was very painful to see that people were not even eating the frosting, because like no one eats it. I feel like no one eats it, and people were throwing it away, and it was paining me like, this is money that they're throwing away. So I decided, okay, this time, so going forward, I was like, okay, I can make the actual cake keto, but I'm going to make the frosting anything, just to save cost. Yeah, so we'll be decorating the cake now, and I have this edible paper. So my birthday is January 10th, so I have this calendar thing. Yeah, so I have this, and we'll be using that to wrap the cake a bit, and then we'll be finishing up with this beautiful pink frosting. And we have other decorations here. I think the one I really love is this pearl cake topper. It has happy birthday. So we have that. We have lots of flowers. Usually they're mostly pink, so different shades of pink. We have flowers here. We have more flowers, more balls here, and then we have like this fan situation. So yeah, let me start with the paper, then do the frosting, and we have this beautiful gold flakes, metallic flakes. Yeah, so let's get started. So I saw this method online. So if you have a packaged frosting this way, you can go ahead and whip it. So I have my hand mixer here, so you can just go ahead and whisk it on high. See, it went from this like cherry pink to this very beautiful baby pink. So this is what we'll be using. I think I saw this method somewhere, definitely on YouTube. So I feel like it helps make this packaged frosting easier to work with, like lighter and fluffier, and easy to spread, easy to decorate the cake with. So yeah, so this is what we'll be using today. So let's get started with this cake. Oh, by the way, this is like around 2:50 a.m. so this is almost 3 a.m. and I've been awake for a while because I'm like, I need to get this cake done. So I'm a student, I do have to be in school later in the day, so I'm like, this is the only time, and my birthday is tomorrow. Yay! So this is the only time I have to complete this cake, and so I don't have to actually wake up between like Friday night and Saturday morning. So I'm like, okay, let me get it done early on Friday morning and I'll be done with it. So this is how the edible cake is looking like. I got it from Hy-Vee, so I sent them the PNG image and then they printed it out and I went to pick it up. So it was very simple, very seamless. So I think the first issue I have is that this is tall. If I had a taller cake, it would be fine, but I probably will have to trim off the last line here. First, I'll trim off the top. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so this is perfect. I trimmed off. Unfortunately, the last from 25th to 31st, so it can be used. So I will just stick this on. Perfect. Okay, so let's start with the pink on the sides. So really the top is going to be full of flowers, so I may or may not frost the top, but yeah, I'll do this. Definitely have to do the sides. Okay, so I'm done with the frosting. Then we'll go jump straight into the decoration process. But I have some a couple of butterflies, but I feel like maybe it's going to be too much. So maybe I'll just keep out with butterflies this time. And yeah, I'm just happy.